good morning. Day 5. I'm about mile 21.7. It's going to be a hot one. It's cool right now, covered with bugs and mosquitoes, unfortunately. Just breaking tent. Gotta get some water, and we'll hike as long as we can before it gets too hot, and then decide what to do. Check in later. We just passed through a section that had been logged and bulldozed, and there's lots of fires in the adjacent area, although not on the trail we were on, but they bulldozed it anyways, and including the sign. They drove right over and squished it. It took us a while to find the trail, but you can see evidence of fire here. Some trees escaped with just fire in their lower trunks. Others, as you can see on this hillside, passed. It was kind of heartbreaking when we passed a couple of what looked like old growth sequoias. Are they sequoias? Douglas firs. That was as wide as a car, and that had succumbed. But it's a mess, and it's hot as blazes out here. But we're back in the woods, and where we are, there's no sign of fire, so all good. This is genuinely scary hiking here. Walking along the sides of this trail, sometimes it's loose rock or ash, and the trail is massively steep, or the slopes are massively steep, so if you slid off, you could go hundreds or thousands of feet. And right here, it's just this loose dust. We have masks on because it's so dusty, coughing and gagging from the fire, and it's been gone for a long time. But then you go into rock fields like ahead, where it starts getting very slippery, and it's just kind of an unnerving part of the trail. I look forward to this all growing back. We made it to the river. It's in the low 90s. It was treacherous hiking on the side of all this burnt out area. We're both wearing masks, and it's in the 90s down here, but we both immersed ourselves. It's quite deep on the other side of the bridge, but we're here and we're going to stay here. Soaked ourselves, and we're going to try and dry off and have something to eat. It's about 11 o'clock on Thursday, June 17th. Hope everything is well everywhere else. And a 3,000-foot climb coming up from the river, the second river. The first climb was from the first river was 1,000. Now this is 3,000. And this is like the 20th down trees. Some of them are old growth, and I literally had to climb inside them. Temporarily blackened with charcoal. Nasty, and it's dicey too, given the hillside. Getting over. Okay, the party continues. I'm introducing my rescue service, Buffalo. I jumped over this tree, and my water bottle went down there and just hung on a branch, and it's the only water I have left. And so once Buffalo got over, I was like, we can figure something out. So Buffalo being, I think he told me he was like 6'6", 180 pounds of twisted blue steel. He hung on to one branch and extended a pole, and I went down to the pole and then ultimately his foot. And I said, you got to slide your ass forward because I'm a foot away. And he got me to it, and we got it. Now it's back here and wherever. Oh my God, thank you, man.
We're back in business.
Oh, jeepers creepers. So I asked the next resupply, I'm going to ask people to send me bubble wrap so I can be safer from these events.
Down this hillside.
Son of a gun. Holy hell.
Hey, good morning. Day 7. Yesterday we did about 21 and a half. I didn't film last night. I was just too tired and worn out when I got to the tent site as the sun was setting. Yeah, we 21 and a half miles. It was really hard because we were going through more sections of burnt forest, and the last 15 miles is a area that the Forest Service hadn't been able to clear yet, so we're climbing over tree stumps, burnt tree stumps, which was, it's covered with all sorts of charcoal and dirt, trying to get over these things. I did film one section that I probably won't put on my video, but it was a pretty terrifying section for me. The trail had disappeared like in an avalanche, and it was on an extremely steep slope. And I stood at the edge of it, plotting my way across it, and I'm standing on some dried leaves, and the ground moved right under my feet, and down the hill I went, and I was able to arrest myself on a small plant down the slope and crawl back up. It's extremely steep, and it's the slide to eternity. It was one of these things that just at a 60-degree slope just goes on and on through rocks and trees, and so I was shaking when I came back up from that. But yeah, I think I kind of unsettled myself at that point, but I'm feeling good now. I'm tired, but we'll hike like probably 18 today, and we'll be like 4 miles outside of Belden, and then we'll go into Belden tomorrow morning, get our resupply, maybe get a shower. Yeah, definitely get a shower. If opportunity presents itself, take a zero and go on from there. So day 7 begins now. It's excellent to be out here.
Looking way in the distance at the burn areas, we're definitely out of the 35-40 mile section of burn that we went through. So happy to be out of there. We're in beautiful terrain. It's just gorgeous out here. It is hot, but not as hot as forecast. I'm in a semi-sunny area, just stopped under a tree. It's probably 85 here. It's cooler in the deep forest, but this is what I came for. Lovely. I can head up that way. See ya. This has just been such a fabulous day. Such a turnaround from yesterday. Everything is so beautiful. Sun is out. Just hiking down a gorgeous trail. It's a little warm when you get up top in the sun, but nothing like yesterday, and much less than what was forecasted. So maybe the altitude, I think I'm up over 6,000 now, has something to do with it. But yeah, wow, this is memorable. Beautiful. Everyone, it's about 4:30. I've just come out of those really high hills. It was quite hot and bright up there. I'm being bitten alive here. It was about 90 degrees and just really parched. Sun was intense compared to what I'm used to in New England. And now I'm down in the woods in the tree line, and boy, is it thick. And this is the trail. So the trail is there. I mean, you can kind of look down and see it. Where is it? But there's some amount of bushwhacking. Well, heaps of bushwhacking to kind of get down the trail. But 4 miles to the river. Buffalo is somewhere behind me. I haven't seen him for a few hours. And I got 1 liter of water. I wish I had a bit more, but I'm counting on the fact that it's a lot cooler here. And it's quite steep going downhill, so I should be able to make decent time. And yeah, it's actually another 20 mile plus day. Gorgeous day, really happy. compared to our fire hike previous 2 days. So I'll check in later. See ya.